We're back with another episode of Farah Talks, powered by Pepsi Max, with myself, Fara Williams, and Ryhanna. You can go there as a fan, an Arsenal fan. You know, they were on your side. How many? 11 plus VAR? How many's in the VAR room? 4. So what's that? 15 plus 3 officials plus the 4.
Goalpost.
Take Caicedo out of their team.
Yeah.
They don't have anything. Loving James not getting in your team.
I know.
There's got to be an argument here, because actually, there is an argument here. She's come in with a red top on already, and it's only half time, but I'm not even going to go there. But Ryhanna, because you got the red top on, I know where you want to start. Go on.
Yeah, I think we have to talk about Arsenal Chelsea. I mean, to be fair, I think there's a lot of talking points about this game. First of all, before we get into the VAR and the, debacles there, what did you actually make of the football that Chelsea played?
No, I thought it was a really competitive game. I expected that from both of them. I always say when these two teams come together, you never know who's going to win. They're capable of beating each other, regardless of what type of form they come into the game in. And I felt that going into it, Arsenal were in better form. But I actually thought Chelsea started the better of the two. I was saying as the game was going on, I was like, Arsenal not performing at their best, but actually coming away with the win is impressive. Because to take 2-goal lead to Stamford Bridge next week, I mean, they've got that head start. So, yeah, I didn't think it was their best performance, Arsenal. I thought their goals were fantastic.
Yeah.
And Chelsea weren't ruthless enough. And it's probably the most ruthless Arsenal's been in the game, or clinical in both ends of the pitch.
Yeah, I do think as well, from a Chelsea perspective, you've had 2 shots off the same post, pretty much at the same angle. I mean, one was a deflection, but LJ's one you would have wanted her to finish. I feel like if Chelsea had found back the net in those 2 chances, would Arsenal have even scored the first or the second or the third? It does just change the entire momentum of the game, really.
Yeah. No, absolutely, I agree. I think, those early chances, I think Chelsea wanted to start fast. If they go in the back of the net, I do think it's a different game. I think both teams looked nervy. I think it's one of those. It's like a massive game, quarter-finals. Normally we see this game semi-final, final, so it's come a little bit early. They did both look nervy. As I said, I thought Chelsea, in terms of the way that they play, we know they're quite an aggressive team anyway. So they were on the front foot right from the off. Referees don't help, because I think European refs anyway, I think it's difficult, because our game anyway in England is quite, I would say, an aggressive game. I mean, they probably get away with it more in the league, but in Europe it's a little bit different, the way that refs referee the game. Slightly different, I would say, but yeah, I'm not going to go there. You can go there as a fan, an Arsenal fan. They were on your side. How many 11 plus VAR? How many's in the VAR room? 4. So what's that? 15 plus 3 officials plus the 4.
Goalpost.
We needed 20 by 11. I'm not surprised they come away 3-1 with it.
I do think we have to talk about the refereeing and the VAR decision. What's happened, and it's what Sonia said. So she got a lot of backlash after the game, because she said, I think it was to the BBC actually, said that you have VAR, so as the referee, give the goal. So there was a lot of people being like, oh, well, she can't just give the goal, this, that and the other. But that's obviously exactly how you need to function when you have VAR, because the problem is, live watching it from where I was in the stands, it did look like a foul, but purely because of where
Berman... blinkers on.
No,
Foul,
I even had my glasses on. No, but I think because of the way that Villa Berman has jumped and the way that Kadina goes down, when you're watching it live, you can see how she probably actually thought that she's used her almost as a leapfrog to hit the ball, but
I think
she doesn't actually blow it.
Once you give the foul, VAR aren't going to say it's an obvious error.
Yeah.
But if you give the goal, then VAR can clear it up if it's a foul.
Exactly.
So if it was the other way round, it would have been cleared up and it would have been given. But the fact that she called the foul, I don't think that they're going to say to the ref, you've made the wrong decision.
No, but that's the hard thing, is she's not actually blown the whistle. Because I was watching a few times, I was like, where does she...
Oh, as an Arsenal fan,
where does she blow the whistle?
You wore your red top.
Fairness, neutrality. So no, because I do think I was like, oh, and you watch it again, and she actually blows the whistle.
Whiffle?
Oh, it's not English.
That's what she blows to you. The nerves again. It's half time. You're 2-0 up.
It's getting hot. It's hot in here, isn't it?
No, I'm alright. I got 3 layers on.
But she blows the whistle after Kadina hits the floor. So she clearly thinks that that's where the error is. And the problem is, because she's not given the goal, like you said, she then can't, unless there's a crazy, clear and obvious error. But because there was such a long check, it's clear that, everyone inside who was watching the footage coming in has actually gone to her, there might actually be something here. Do you want to have a look? Because you potentially could do that as a clear and obvious error.
Yes, I think
but she was quite set in her decision. I think because she watched Kadina go down, even though she didn't go down until the ball was in the back of the net.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit...
Yeah, I mean, it's a poor decision. And this is where I go back to, I mean, all season, last season, when Emma Hayes was in charge, we've always been like, oh, we want VAR. I don't understand why we want it. Because even with it, we get decisions wrong. Because it comes down to opinions.
Yeah, it's very subjective.
So exactly. Referees may have had an opinion of something and a VAR have pretty much gone with it.
Because even the whole like clear and obvious error standpoint, that's still based on if somebody thinks that it's a clear and obvious error.
Why have we got VAR?
But do you think, Sonia said as well that she thinks that, hold on, I'm going to get the quote here. Yeah, and she said that she thinks that maybe if it calls for it, we should have referees from the men's game coming over. She said if it has to be coming from the men's game, then maybe. If it's coming from the women's game, then we need the best ones. We need to bring competence, which is the most important thing. Because obviously, a lot of the women's referees won't have the same level of experience. And if VAR is done correctly and the referees and everyone's fully briefed and understand how they're working, it shouldn't actually slow the game down that much, which I think there is an argument for. But then does that mean you bring VAR to the WSL, giving, WSL, the referees, it's like predominantly female, which is amazing. So do they bring it to the WSL, letting them learn more and more and more? And then when it comes to the Champions League, we aren't having to source from the men's game. Because then
I don't want VAR, so I'm always against VAR anyway. I don't really want it. I think it just kills it. I don't know, I'll ask you from a fan's perspective, but I think when I'm a fan in the stand watching and VAR's involved, it just takes a little bit away from the game. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
But I do believe we need to have the best referees, and we're getting there. Like these female referees haven't been full-time for a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
And so they're still training to be the very best. So I get it from a point of view. The men have more experience. They've obviously been full-time for a lot longer. So those experiences I'm saying might because we never know, they could also make those errors.
Yeah.
Might help us in our game. But it's just a matter of, I guess, patience with refereeing, because as I say, it's a bit like the game. The women's game's been full-time for not a long period of time, and referees haven't gone full-time since I'm not sure on the exact timeline, but I know they haven't been full-time refereeing in terms of the training and it being a lifestyle for a long time. So yeah, there's time when we have to have patience with it. But I think the issue is that you're at a quarter-final stage of a Champions League, and so much lies on that game for both of these teams.
Yeah, it can't be a learning curve.
And so exactly. So I think for that reason, that's the frustration. Just how much it means to both teams. I could see Chelsea players getting frustrated, but they have to manage it. I mean, I've never seen Sonia so frustrated on the sideline. She was like, but I guess when the good thing about that, I'm saying the good thing, because if you're a player and you're showing those frustrations, it's very easy to get booked, and then the game kind of go away from you in those frustrations. The fact that they could see that their manager was doing it and kind of doing it from the side, if she gets sent off, yes, it can impact you, but not as big as it would if you go down to 10 players or 9 players. So actually, it's probably clever that she was taking the responsibility and the frustration away from the players and fueling it herself.
Yeah, I do think as well, both teams are missing a lot of players. And from a Chelsea perspective, I do want to ask you about this. Obviously, Sam Kerr wouldn't be available for the game, but do you think coming into the second leg, Chelsea need a number 9? Because the thing is, LJ's making these raising runs and she's doing this, that and the other, but she can't send the cross in, but then also be on the end of it.
Yeah, no, I think Sam, hopefully she's available. Obviously, she played out in the Asia Cup, played every game, so she played a lot of minutes. So hopefully she's fit to go, because I think she'll be important to them. I think, there's a possibility that she could start. I think, I thought done well. Thompson, I thought done really well against Katie McCabe in that, and Cordina down that right-hand side or left-hand side of Arsenal's, to the point that Slagers had to make that substitution. Yeah. So tactically, Chelsea, it wasn't that they got the tactics wrong. It was more about execution of it, not scoring early, and then obviously the sloppy goals they conceded. I mean, sloppy goal, I would say, they're defending from the set piece. And the other two, you can't stop them, so you have to stop them at source. They didn't do that. But the game had the worldies in it, right? Because I think 3 of them goals from that game have gone into goal of the
They got to.
Yeah, it was a good game. I think, look, this is probably the only tie where you go, even though there's a 2-goal difference, Chelsea still could pull that back.
And it's going to the bridge. Talking about Kate McCabe, actually, that substitution, Renee said that at half-time, her and Aaron asked, like, oh, do you have any questions? She was like, no, I'm absolutely fine, just going in at centre-half. What did you make of her performance?
No, I thought she was good. I thought she had a bit of a tough time in that opening 45 at left back. I thought Thompson was good. I thought Lucy brought the best out in Thompson. Thompson normally 100%. Plays off the left-hand side, and I think when you've got that experience behind you, I think it just adds to her game. It just gives her that freedom, and I would imagine, having played with Lucy, that she would have, every time she gave her the ball, would have been encouraging her to go 1v1. So I think the fact that she was backed out by Lucy give her the confidence to really try and exploit Katie McCabe, and I felt she did that. So, yeah, bringing Katie McCabe into centre-half. You know what? I think it would have been harder if Katie was coming from, say, left mid to then be a defender, because your mindset has to change. You go from being a front-footed, attacking-minded, and then all of a sudden you're thinking, OK, I need to be a bit more reserved. So the fact that she was playing left-back and was pinned back quite a lot in that opening 45, it probably was easier for her to just slot in just a left-side centre-half.
Speaking of Arsenal position changes, Alessia Russo, we've all had this debate time and time again. Is she a 9? Is she a 10? But she's now the highest scoring English player in a single UEFA Women's Champions League season. is it silly that we're going, should she be a 10? Yeah, should she be dropping off?
She can play the both. The thing is, she can play the both. You're asking me where do I think she's better? I'd say the 9. I'd argue the 9's her position. She can do everything up in the 9. She can drop into spaces. She's able to stretch in behind. She can hold up the ball for her teammates to join in. She's a goal scorer. She also can assist. So I think she's rounded as a 9, much better. I think you lose a little bit when you drop her in. She can still do it. And I guess with a player like Blackstenius that will play on the shoulder, probably helps those spaces open up. If she was playing with a striker that didn't stretch and create those spaces, I wonder how she would cope in that number 10 position. So, yeah, I think her more natural position is as a number 9. I mean, 8 goals, and in most of those Champions League games, she has started as a 10.
Yeah.
And Blackstenius as a 9. So I guess she can get goals from both, but I would much prefer her as a 9.
I do think from an Arsenal perspective, I prefer her probably as a 9. But then also, I don't think it's about should she be a 9 or a 10. It's how you play her and Sina Blackstenius together. Because I think they work the best when they're actually together. Because like you said, Sina also, on her day, she can also do the hold-up play while Les can go. And I think they actually just work well as a duo rather than one or the other.
Yeah, and that's why I think Renee Slagers plays them both, because she wants them both in the team. They offer something different, the pair of them.
Yeah.
But I do think when Blackstenius plays, Russo is the deeper one of the two, and then probably has to do a little bit more outside of the box than in it. But I mean, I know we were talking about LJ's goal, and that was LJ just takes liberties, right?
She does. It's the nonchalance. She doesn't even.
Don't even care. I'm just going to put it in that top
so
corner.
Good.
But I mean, the technical detail on Russo's goal, wow.
Yeah.
Incredible. If a guy's doing that, we're talking about it for days.
Yeah.
But
it's on Twitter.
LJ's goal was so good, we're not really talking about the detail of her goal. The way she just lifted it and took it. Like Lucy, I think it was recovering defence. I mean, centre half was already out of position, but she can't recover that.
Yeah.
The fact that it's come off the floor, maybe she took it on the floor, makes it a little bit easier for the defender. But yeah, I mean, the finish just set us up. It's like in the playground, just lift it and yeah, I mean, incredible goal.
Silly. And looking to the second leg, from Chelsea, what do you want to see?
I think they have to approach it in the same way. I think like that front-footed, aggressive style that they have is better suited to them. I think they showed that in the cup final against Man United. So when they are front-footed and they get it right, they're very good and unstoppable at times. They need to be clinical.
Yeah.
But I also think they need a striker in the game. I mean, for as good as Lauren did, and Lauren James, I thought she was fantastic, and she was the only player really trying to find those spaces to create something. But when you do that, you lose something. Yeah. So when she's roaming, who's then going to be their vocal point? You just spoke about it. You know, LJ can't be out on the left, and then
she can't do it all.
And then what it does is that when she does roam into those areas, she'll be telling Baltimore, for example, "Go on, you go more central."
Okay, as much as we'd probably like to, we can't give all of our airtime to Arsenal Chelsea. So
we can, but we won't.
We won't. Manchester United versus Bayern Munich. United was first ever UEFA Champions League quarter-final. What did you make of it? Obviously, they didn't win, but I thought they showed good fight.
Yeah, no, they did show good fight. You have to give them that. I think the fact that they go a goal behind as early as they do to stay in the game and then get themselves back in it shows that they've got character. I think that's the thing that they've had all year and shown certainly in WSL. But I think when they got back to 2-2, you need to try and see it out.
Yeah.
And then to concede again and go away 3-2, because, mate, going away to Bayern is not going to be easy.
We spoke about that last week.
I mean, Arsenal went there 2-0 up at half-time and lost the game 3-2. So it's certainly not an easy stadium to go to, and with the crowd as well. It'll be difficult for them. But the fact that they're still in the game, I think they'll take a lot of positives from that.
Yeah, because Bayern did kind of change their systems. They like to play a lot more possession-based, almost pretty football, but then we saw them going a lot more direct. Do you think that United just weren't ready for that and hadn't maybe prepared for that and didn't
maybe, but they should have
fast enough?
Maybe, but they should have, because they do adapt in game, and they did that against Arsenal. And so if they watched the Arsenal game, which I would imagine they would have done a little bit of analysis on, because it was a game of two halves. In the Arsenal game, when Arsenal were 2-0 up, Bayern were possessing the ball too deep in their own half, couldn't really get out, when actually the space was in behind. Mm-hmm. And the second half, I mean, when I spoke to the manager at the end of the game of that Arsenal game, I said, was it more about your possession being higher up and maybe being a little bit more direct? And he said, yeah, exactly that. And that's what they did, but they started like that. Those early balls in behind the Man United back line. I mean, as much as Maya was really deep compared to the line, they play with a high line Man United. So I think the thing about Bayern and German teams in general is that they can adapt formations and systems and in-game, they might start with a high press, they might start with a low block, they might want to go. They can in-game change, and they do that. And I think that's a difficult thing. And what they do as well, I don't know if you watched it the way I do, but they try and make Man United feel comfortable on the ball, and they set traps. And it's like, you know what, they're setting traps and they're going, look, and then United get comfortable and then they press. And then they're blocking passing lines. So they don't actually get aggressive and really tight, but what they do is block passing lines. And Man United, I felt at times, fell into that trap. I mean, there was a couple of good players for Man United as well. But yeah, the thing is for Man United, they're still in a tie. So I think they could take positives from that. But they have to be defensively better, and they have to be ready for both. They have to be ready for Bayern Munich possessing the ball, and they have to be ready for that more direct. And Pernilla Harder, how they didn't do their research on her is beyond me.
I know.
Mate, what a player.
I know.
What a player.
I honestly forgot how much I miss watching her week in, week out.
She's incredible. You know what? I remember playing against her. I'm saying it was in the Champions League, but it wasn't called the Champions League because it was so long ago.
The Champions Cup?
No, UEFA
Cup.
It was called the UEFA Cup for Everton. I can't remember what team. She was playing for a Swedish team. Lucy actually played for us, Everton, at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Mate, she was only a young kid. She was incredible back then. And you just knew, for somebody so slight as well.
Yeah.
She was so strong. She just holds you off. You wouldn't know it unless you come up against her. But her movement is just the way she just can finish the ball the way she did. Getting between centre halves. Both of them fell for it. Maya Le Tissier first and then Millie Turner for the second. She got in between them on the opposite side. So, yeah, both goals were good. And it's something that Arsenal, look at me, I've got Arsenal on the brain because you're wearing red. Man United will have to look at going into that second leg.
And then Maya Le Tissier, you mentioned there, she actually took responsibility post-match. She said that, the player went off her back shoulder and she should have done better. And then, 10 minutes later, she steps up to take the penalty, scores, then assists the second. She's only 23, so as a captain, as a leader, what do you think that says about her as a player, that she's done that?
Yeah, it shows character. I'm not one of those people that thinks it's right for a player to come out and go, oh yeah, it was my fault. It's a collective. I always think, we all make mistakes. Somebody else's positioning before hers could have affected her position. I don't think she has to come out and do that. I think it shows character that she's able to step up for that penalty. She took her time with it, which I thought I think that shows the mentality of her, and I think the character more than anything, because when you get a penalty and you're a goal down, and it would have been playing on her mind, she would have known in the game that, my positioning was wrong for the first goal. And then to step up and compose yourself, I think, just shows, how far such a young player's come in those moments that she's been at Man United, and it shows her leadership. Mate, she stood there and I was thinking, she's taking her time, and I thought, that's good. And I'm thinking, no, you're really taking your time.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, the goalkeeper went the right way, but she put it in the back of the net. And it does show character, and it does show that responsibility that she's prepared to take on. But yeah, each to their own. If you want to come out and say, yep, it was my fault. But I think, players at that level, when you've made a mistake or when you haven't been at your best. And, we'll probably talk about it in the media. Probably don't need to come out and expose yourself.
Yeah.
But credit to her for doing that, if that's what she felt the right thing was to do.
What do you think the second leg, what do you think the story's going to be?
Difficult. I think it's going to be really difficult for United. I don't see Bayern not scoring.
Yeah, 100% not.
So, and I'm not sure that they can score as many as Bayern away. You know what, it's the fans. I like that sort of atmosphere and environment to go into. They're used to it, Bayern Munich, whereas Man United aren't. They've been to a couple of cup finals in recent years, but I still don't think they're quite the team that thrive off of that and can perform under that amount of pressure. But who knows? It can go any way, but I do think, given the fact that they've got that goal advantage, I think Bayern will put the tie to bed.
Then over to Spain, Real Madrid versus Barcelona. You were there. You didn't look as cold as at the Emirates.
Do you know what? I took clothes for the winter, mate. I thought it was going to be cold coming from the Emirates to go there. And I was packed the night before. And I was got there and I was oh my days, sweating. What am I going to do?
That game's over. Weather,
that game's over.
100%. What were your actual takeaways from the game?
Yeah, game
outside
over.
the weather.
I thought Real Madrid were poor. If they didn't take Caicedo out of their team, and normally I'd say take Caicedo and Clara and Weir, but I didn't think she had a great game yesterday. She got substitutes off her and Debrief, but take Caicedo out of their team.
Yeah.
They don't have anything.
Yeah.
They don't have anything.
I do find it crazy that obviously she's on such a long contract now as well, and she's not going to be going somewhere.
Honestly,
maybe she will,
yesterday I was when is she going to come to WSL?
Oh, could you
And then
imagine?
they said to me, she's signed to 2031. Oh my God, the poor kid, what are you doing? But you know what? It's difficult because I was speaking to some Spanish media out there, and they was talking about they're the only team out of the 8 teams remaining that haven't played this quarter-final in the men's stadium.
Oh,
and it was
really?
because it was against Barcelona, and how true it is, I don't know. The president obviously playing Barcelona, don't want to get battered
in the Bernat.
Yeah. And it would have been a battering.
So Real Madrid and Barcelona are facing each other again in the league on Sunday. How do you think that will help or hinder how Real Madrid approach the second game? Do you think they'll take it as a learning curve maybe, or will it just be another fixture that they've got to try and get through?
Yeah, just another fixture to get through. Honestly, they've played now 23 times and they've only beaten Barcelona once in 23 games. I think even they played 24 and I think one of the games got erased. I heard it got erased out the book. So yeah, so it would have been 24 and one win in all of that. So it's crazy to think that they played that amount of times and they still haven't found a way to stay in a game. They were supposed to be, I say, going into the game, more compact, make it more difficult. But once you don't take your chances against Barcelona, they'll open you up. And I mean, Barca, when they got to like 3, you're just thinking, oh, they can chill now. They wanted more. They weren't even happy with 6-2.
Yeah.
And then speaking to the players after the game, it's like, oh yeah, we got them again on Sunday, and then we got them again next week, and like, yeah, we're just
gonna keep going.
Gonna get more. Yeah, so they're like they want to thrash them. That's their mentality. Their mentality is crazy, and you think they've lost players as well, like all of what's going on at Barca financially, to still be at the levels that
and
they're
a relatively young squad to have that kind of mentality.
Exactly. So yeah, I see it. Look, I don't think the weekend's game affects next week. I think the tie's done, but yeah, maybe. Barca won't rest players. Maybe Real Madrid will rest them and think that will help them going into that second leg. But at the Camp Nou, I mean, you're 6-2 down. Yeah. At home, you can't score more than 2. And prior to yesterday's game, they'd played 3 games before that, and on aggregate lost 10-0. So lost 4-0, 2-0, 4-0. So they haven't scored against Barca in a long time. So to get 2 yesterday was a bonus for them.
Yeah,
so,
and then the Caicedo.
Caicedo. Let's hope she's not injured, but for that game, because she's their only threat.
Yeah. And then Wolfsburg kept a clean sheet, narrow win over Lyon. I feel like we didn't predict that one going that way.
We didn't. Lyon don't normally lose.
No.
So yeah, I definitely didn't predict it. I did the early group game between the two, and Lyon absolutely battered them. Like I mean, the scoreline I think was only 3-1, but Wolfsburg scored like a late consolation. But in terms of like the game, like it could have been 6, 7, 8 on the day. So yeah, the fact that Wolfsburg, and maybe learned from that fixture that they played in that game. I mean, the goal was a heavy deflected goal. Birenstein obviously had that half turn, hit it, and it deflected. But they got themselves in front. And I actually thought the first half they were the better of the two teams. And then obviously the second half we know that Lyon put the pressure on, just weren't able to get a goal. So Wolfsburg have something to hold on to. I think it'll be a different fixture, a difficult one going away to Lyon next week. But they're in a game. They're in a game, Lyon, and Lyon need to win. And coming off the back of your first defeat, what is it, 30 games, is it?
33 games. The last time that they lost was in the semi-final, second leg in Lyon against Arsenal. Yeah. They lost 4-1.
Exactly.
Got knocked out of the Champions League.
So to have not lost in all that, it's how you bounce back from it. And the pressure's on them, because they know, especially, talking to them, some of their players early in the season and in the group stages, they was talking about that defeat to Arsenal in that semi-final and the fact that they lost at home.
Remember it well.
Yeah, so yeah, of course you do. So they have one thing on their mind, and that is to get back to the Champions League final and win it. So the fact they're a goal behind, they have to react. So it'll be interesting how they react. They know that they're more than capable of beating this Wolfsburg team, but I think Wolfsburg will take so much confidence from that win.
So every week, our sponsors Pepsi Max have asked us to give a team of the round. So let's get into it. Goalkeeper, Johannes. From Wolfsburg. I did choose that one. I mean, only clean sheet.
I knew it. So predictable.
Only clean sheet in the entire round. There was a lot of goals everywhere. So
no, that was good, because as you say, Lyon put the pressure on. So yeah.
Yeah, I was debating on a Kaborba from Arsenal, because I did think she had a good game, but I thought you'd attack me. So
yeah, I'm glad you didn't go with that one.
Yeah, no, you did.
But you could have. You could have. I didn't really have a keeper in mind. I didn't feel like anyone really stood out. But
yeah, exactly.
I guess given that she was the only one with a clean sheet, I agree.
Okay, back line. Le Tissier, Bruce, Katie McCabe, Lucy Bronze.
Yeah. We're going. Who played well for Barcelona? Kamara, I think her name is. Young kid.
Young.
Come through the academy. Good little player. First time I seen her. She did really well. Could throw her in, but given the fact that Katie McCabe shows her versatility, left back, centre half, you have that one. Lucy Bond's outstanding. Yep.
Yeah.
Who was that
also
one?
Leadership as well. I think
Maya Le Tissier. I think they showed good character. Obviously the goal, the assist. Obviously recovering after that opening 2 minutes. Yeah. Who did you say left back?
Esme Bruce.
Oh yeah, she was good.
She was good.
She was good.
And not necessarily in a position that she probably wants to be in.
She's really grown in that position, because she's an attacking wide player. So the fact that you're able to, in the last couple of years, players are a fullback and understand their role much better now. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's decent.
Thank you.
They're like all attacking players in there, really.
I feel quite honoured. I'm quite scared to carry on now, because you've not disagreed with me yet.
Let's go.
Okay, Patry.
Yeah, baller.
I've kind of had to mess around with this a little bit, my own rules. I put Pernilla Harder in midfield.
Okay.
And then De Mornay.
Okay. I thought you put De Mornay in midfield.
Yeah. Sitting just behind. So kind of like Patry is like a 6.
Pateas.
And then 2. Yeah.
She was very good. Russo, what we saying she was? She was a midfielder?
No, I've put her.
Oh, you're putting her up front.
I'm not doing. Yeah,
you're not doing that one. Even though she played like 70 minutes as a 10.
I'm not doing that one. I'm not doing that one.
Okay.
You don't score a goal like that and then get put in midfield.
Okay, just asking.
I could put Alessia in for the morning, maybe.
Yeah, I thought Alessia was good.
Yeah.
You know what? I think she's changed the game a little bit. Like how I remember her, she always had to be not the main player, because she is the main player within that team, one of. But she's less selfish now. Her game's more rounded. She doesn't have to be on the score sheet in order to have a good game. So I thought she was good.
Yeah, and then the front three, I've gone for Alessia Russo, Linda Caicedo, Eva Payot.
Lauren James not getting in your team.
I know.
There's got to be an argument here, because actually, there is an argument here. There is an argument. We're starting it right now.
I thought it was too good to be true. Yeah, I struggled with that. But in the front three, like...
Payot has to be in there. Caicedo has to be in there.
Or should we put Alessia over De Mornay in midfield and put LJ in the front three? But then where does Alessia go? Because I feel like Patry was phenomenal, and obviously Pernille Harder.
I mean, I just can't believe that the LJ didn't come out your mouth. I'm just baffled.
She was
even Alessia Thompson. I thought she was very good as well.
Yeah,
I know we're going off a Chelsea defeat, but I'm just thinking about players that had an impact in game. But yeah, I'll counter that, because obviously Payot got 2, and she has to be your number 9. Who did we say on the left? Caicedo. She got a couple. She was good. I mean, her goals were good, but she was in and out of game. I don't know. You have to put LJ in there somewhere, I think.
Okay, so let's do...
But I agree that Russo has to be in there.
Yeah, maybe
you have to take Alessia out the midfield and put Russo in there and put LJ up top. That's the only negotiating I'm doing. You didn't have Alessia in your team anyway.
No, so let's do...
And you didn't have LJ. Just for the record, she didn't have LJ in her team. I don't know if you watched the same game as me, but she didn't have her in the team.
Yes, ma'am.
Read it from the top. Let's go. LJ, she didn't put you in her team. Just a little reminder.
Doing me absolutely dirty. Thank you, Farah. Okay, so Johannes, Lucy Bronze, Katie McCabe, Maya Le Tissier, Esme Brutes, and then we've got Patrick Gaharo, Pernille Harder, Alessia Russo, Lauren James, Linda Caicedo, and Eva Payot.
There you go. Not a bad 11.
It's not a bad 11
Not
at all.
a bad 11. We do some score predictions for next week.
Yeah, shall we? Go on then. Okay, Arsenal, Chelsea.
No, not scores, just who's going to go through.
Okay, Arsenal, Chelsea, 3, 2, 1.
Chelsea.
Arsenal. I just think 3-1 is, and I know obviously they're going to the bridge, but...
And what happened last year? Do you remember?
They're going to the bridge.
Yeah, and what happened last year? Do you remember? Against Man City?
I do remember.
And they scored 3 goals in the opening 45. Arsenal, just go and watch that Man City game back.
Good.
I'm only saying that because I haven't packed my Arsenal shirt, and it ain't getting packed.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're going on holiday, aren't you?
You're going Barca.
Yeah.
And I'll be out in Lyon, but I ain't packing an Arsenal shirt because
of course you are. Of course you are. No,
I'll have to buy one. I'll have to buy
No, because if Chelsea won, you would expect me to be sat in Barcelona with a Chelsea shirt.
Yeah, because they're going to win. So that's what I'm saying. That's why you're going to pack your shirt and I'm keeping mine at home.
Well, I need to get one.
That's how confident
I have a Chelsea shirt.
Yeah?
Well, I don't have one.
Well, mate, you did an interview. LJ, Cuthbert, what was that?
I didn't go, by the way, guys, so
just
me
say
and
that
Farah...
You should have said to them, I'm in a bet with Farah and I've betted Arsenal to win, so I might need a shirt because actually I'm a bit scared of you guys. I need a Chelsea shirt for
I'm sure you guys have been listening to the pod and you know about the bet, you know what's happening.
Should have said it to them. You should have said it. Now you've missed out. You better buy one on the way.
We'll see.
We're going, who is it? Barca or Farah? I'm going to say Barca.
Yeah. Wolfsburg, Lyon? I think Lyon will do it.
Yeah, I do as well, but I'm going to go Wolfsburg just to go against you. Wolfsburg.
Thanks.
Come on, Wolfsburg. And then Bayern United, Bayern.
Yeah. I'd love United to do it, but I think realistically it's going to be Bayern.
Yeah, agree. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week after the second legs, and one of us will be wearing Arsenal or Chelsea.
Farah will be in an Arsenal shirt. I think you'll be in an Arsenal shirt.
She's already got her Arsenal shirt on. But tune in if you want to see who's wearing the opposition shirt next week.